We went to Chernihiv to buy some food. We came there, but they didn't let us go back. We were lucky. They let us go at all. My son-in-law is a police officer. They could have shot him. We stayed there for the night, and the next day I walked back to take my family. My daughter and granddaughter and my husband were still here. I walked 20 kilometers. You can't imagine what I saw. Burned cars, people with no legs, no heads, everything was on fire. And this house, it's our neighbors. An old lady lived here. Did she survive? Yes, she did. Her son and grandson came here to stay with her because their house had been destroyed. And when I came here, the whole village was invaded. In Vanivka village too. I saw 3 soldiers with machine guns there. I thought they'd kill me. Thanks God they let me go. I came here and the village had been already fully invaded. Tanks everywhere. In front of every house, like a train. They entered every yard, broke everything. They would take everything too, our food. My children were in the cellar. I feared they'd be shot dead, because my son-in-law is a police officer, and he had a rifle and a gun. He was at work, but when we went to Chernihiv, he wasn't wearing his uniform. I was afraid they'd be shot if the uniform and the gun were found. Thanks God they hid it all. And they stayed in the cellar, and later we were allowed to go to the center of the village where our friends lived. Later on we went to Lukashivka village and were taken from there. How did they treat people? They would shoot people. Some were wounded. 3 of our relatives were killed. Our friend died. He was 60 years old. My aunt died in her house. Her grandson died too. He was in his late 30s. It's terrible. It's good that we managed to get to Lukashivka village, and my son-in-law took us from there. But people who stayed here suffered badly. They stayed in cellars for 25 days. They wouldn't let them go. They checked them constantly. It was horrible. Look at my house. Come and see for yourself. Did they live there? Yes, they did. They slept in our beds. It's awful. Come and see. It stinks in there now. What did they do? You see, this is Russian peace. Just look what they've done. They've shot at radiators. They didn't know how to turn on the heating. They shot at windows. They're broken now. Just look, they even shot at the portraits. We had been living here for years, collecting it all. They took our household appliances, tools. They even took our clothes. Water flowed out from the radiators, 150 liters from the whole house, and they just walked here on water. Who were those people? Buryats? There were Buryats and Russians too. You know, they look different. Terrible. They even shot at the portraits. Just have a look here. Bullets. Where are they? Here, look. They shot at the stove, you see? And they left some canned stewed meat. We don't want it. We don't need it. Maybe I'll give it to my dogs. I don't want it. They said to my daughter, let us escort you to the restroom. They themselves wouldn't go to the restroom. They'd use the yard, the shed, the cellar instead, but they wanted to escort her to the restroom. I understand she's young and pretty. The father said no one would go anywhere. How old is she? 38. It's just terrible. What about animals? Did you have any? No, we didn't. Just look here. Look what's going on here. They've ruined the field and the young garden. It's not possible to plant here now. They did the same in my neighbor's garden too. She's left, she's got 2 children. They've gone to Germany. They've made a mess and left, haven't they? Yes, absolutely. They've ruined everything they could. There is just one oasis left over there. That's it. They've chopped down a young garden. Bastards. Look at the house on this side. They shot at it, and it leaks now. There were mortars here, and they'd shoot in Chernihiv and Kalinivka village direction. And when they were detected, our soldiers would shoot at them. The house is damaged. There were 9 windows, none has survived.